speaker and the ambassador to the Ryan Gordy Foundation. Would you please welcome to the stage Mr. Pierce Brooks, everyone. Pierce. Where is he? Oh, there he is. All right.
Ryan Gordy and I were friends since the age of 13. We met in middle school. Our mascot was a galloping horse called the Trailblazer. There were only a handful of black kids at our school, and unsurprisingly, we congealed like grape jello. Ryan stood out as the leader early on. He was a small kid, but had this voluminous, soft afro. A major contrast compared to our low fades. The rest of us were trying to blend in, not stand out. Not Ryan. He was non-conforming from the start. I'm pretty sure he dictated to his mom, Anita, when he would arrive in this world. On his own terms and in his own time. A trailblazer since birth. For over the decade of our friendship, Ryan consistently held space for his friends. His demeanor was peaceful. Unless he was instigating some wild shenanigans the rest of us were too scared to participate in. He was, of course, the boldest of our group, but also moved in humility. I don't ever remember a time that Ryan used his family connections to flex. He was fearless, but never careless. His wisdom, curiosity, and sense of humor were far beyond his years. His prowess was connecting with people one-on-one, but he could easily captivate this entire room if he wanted. Ryan was a trailblazer with a heart. His acts of service were always thoughtful and considerate. In our final conversation, I was battling a cold, and he gave firm, loving instructions. Get some honey tea, cayenne, garlic, and lemon. Rest and stay positive to heal quickly. Please feel better, he had said. None of his friends had any idea that he was quietly fighting leukemia for 4 years. In his final days during our last exchange, he was making a concerted effort to care for my well-being. He was a living act of love. Our honorary award recipient this evening was also born into a family of trailblazers. According to the Orange County Register, Bill Duffy's grandfather, Willis K. Duffy, was the first African-American property owner in Santa Ana, California. Bill's father, Colonel Jerome Duffy, was the first African-American born in Orange County, California. In the early 1950s, Colonel Duffy and his wife, Juanita, had 3 children who all died within days of their birth. While stationed in Korea, Colonel Duffy adopted 2 children, Vincent and Maria. Soon after, doctors told Juanita that she could never conceive children. God had other plans. Bill Duffy was the first child born to Colonel Jerome and Juanita Duffy in 1960. Years later, the couple adopted Vicky from Taiwan and had 1 more natural-born son, Jerry. Growing up as a military brat in a multicultural household allowed Bill to see a world without borders, full of possibilities, a direct reflection of his own upbringing. In the mid-1970s, Bill became the #1 high school basketball player in Southern California. He attended the University of Minnesota and then transferred to Santa Clara University. Before being drafted by the Denver Nuggets. He transitioned from playing to negotiating when he and close friend Ronnie Lott began working in the sports agency business. In 1996, Bill founded BDA Sports Management, the first premier black-owned agency representing NBA athletes. Bill forged a significant milestone, revolutionizing the game of basketball, when after a 5-year pursuit, he recruited Yao Ming and brought him to the States, thereby expanding a global economic interest in the game. This accomplishment resulted in the birth of BDA Sports International, solidifying Bill as the go-to international basketball agent. 35 years of experience, expertise, and excellence has yielded over $4 billion in player contracts and endorsements for his clients. Some of which include two-time MVP Steve Nash, Luka Doncic, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Jackson Hayes in the house, and WNBA star Sabrina Ionescu. Earlier this year, WME acquired BDA Sports Management, making Bill head of its basketball division, expanding his worldwide reach. Currently, Bill is part of an effort to bring a majority-owned African-American NFL expansion team franchise to Oakland, partnering with Loop Capital. Partnering with Loop Capital, the #1 African-American investment bank in the United States. Bill Duffy is indeed a trailblazer, but he is also my uncle. I am biased when I think of his greatness, but I'm not alone when I refer to his impeccable work ethic, character, decency, power, and influence as integrous. In 2003, his client, Anthony Carter, intended to return to the Miami Heat by accepting a $4 million contract extension. In an oversight, BDA Sports had failed to notify the team of their client's decision by the deadline. Anthony Carter was forced to accept a $750,000 minimum contract from the Spurs. Bill took responsibility for his firm's error and paid back his client over $3 million out of his own pocket. Even on the road of mistakes, integrity paves the way for the path to excellence. Bill honors his word. You know when you deal with him, it's above board. He shows up, he does the work, he moves in humility. That same intentionality that Ryan Gordy had in connecting with people one-on-one is also one of Bill's fortes. These principles, built upon the foundation of his strong faith, are the cornerstones of Bill's success. But of all the accolades and accomplishments, Bill would probably tell you his greatest achievement is family. This year, Bill celebrated 34 years of marriage to the love of his life, Jamise. Together, they have raised and supported 5 children. And out of all the recitals and sports games and graduations and various gatherings, Bill has missed less than 10 events for his kids in total. More impressively, Jamise has missed none. Don't get it twisted. This is what integrity looks like on and off the court. My uncle knows that family shows up in many forms, and Ryan has been grafted onto mine. So when I approached Bill and Jamise about supporting the Ryan Gordy Foundation, the response was an overwhelming and instantaneous yes. The 4 Agreements is a book written by Don Miguel Ruiz based on ancient Toltec wisdom. The agreements are: be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. I feel like both Ryan and Bill's lives are based on these ethics. You know, a couple months ago, a journalist named Dane Moore began an inquisition into the details of the signing of one of Bill's newest clients, Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards, and the $260 million deal that he negotiated. As to why Edwards switched agents, the journalist received a text from one of his contacts, which he tweeted. 5 words, quote, "Bill Duffy is Bill Duffy," end quote. Bill is widely regarded as the greatest basketball agent of all time, and I would add, the most respected. So when the mention of your name carries the weight of your character, that is the ultimate sign of achievement. Tonight, we honor Bill Duffy and his leadership and excellence. He is an inspiration for us all.